Hello and welcome to Yam Yam F1. Today we are going to be talking about the Japanese Grand Prix. And Red Bull have won a Constructors' Championship. Just start rolling the music.
We had to start the race, and Verstappen obviously didn't start very well.
No.
I wouldn't say. Piastri had a little bit of hope down the inside, and then out of nowhere, Lando come from third position. You thought, oh my god, he's going to have him here.
Yeah.
The stereotypical Max Verstappen did come out very briefly, I would say. I think he was rough. I think he was fair to a point, and ultimately he got to turn one in front.
Yeah.
And like Lando said, if he gets to turn two in front, then
that race is over.
Settle for second.
Yeah. Yeah, settle for a podium. That's the best thing to do. But
yeah.
Max was, he was swamped by both McLarens at the start.
At the start, definitely.
He covered Oscar pretty well, but was sort of like underestimated Lando behind him.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
Lando
before you know it,
start.
Max was in a McLaren sandwich.
Yeah.
And it just, you just had like little thoughts and, little memories of Senna and Prost, and you thinking, God, but there's going to be two McLarens in it this time. But no, it was all clear. Max did shut the door on both of them.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Which I think
he had to.
Yeah, he had every right to do,
Yeah,
I'd say.
absolutely.
It was aggressive, but it was clean.
It was
Clean aggressive.
Yeah. Clean
If anyone's ever used that before, it was clean aggressive. So, yeah, I think that was some great racing at the start. It was a little bit messy further back, I'll admit.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously 6 o'clock in the morning here in Britain, and I was like keeping almost like one eye on the front on McLaren and Red Bull, and then one eye on what on earth is going on at the back. So like I was cross-eyed by the time we got to turn one, trying to follow all the action. It was mad.
I think one of my eyes was still asleep.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, not to mention the fact that we'd been away about half an hour, if that really.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to comprehend everything that was going on at the start of that
Yeah.
race, to be honest. But I think we're seeing quite a few incidents in some of the back markers now.
Yeah, definitely.
One driver that I will specifically talk about is Logan Sergeant.
Mm-hmm. He needs to be spoken about.
I like the guy. I think, you know what, he's a decent guy, and he's somewhat of a fast driver. He's in one of the slowest cars, but you know what, he's alright, but he's so accident prone.
Yeah, he is.
Even when he got into Q3 at Zandvoort, he still binned it in the wall.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, come on, like, give us a break. We want to actually cheer you on.
Yeah, he
like,
can't just pull a good solid weekend together, can he?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one good session, whichever session that would be, and then it's just absolute hell for the rest of the weekend. Yeah. And I do like him to a certain extent. I feel like we don't know enough or a lot about Logan Sergeant.
Yeah.
But I just don't think... He's had a brilliant, junior career, but I just don't think he's cut out for F1. I know it's early to say because it's his first season.
It's early doors, but I mean, I think if you compare him to Latifi, you're probably doing him a little bit of a disservice.
Yeah.
I do think he's a better driver than Latifi. However, sometimes it's bet the devil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you stick with Latifi? I mean, I was one of the people that said, look, Latifi needs to go now. He's had his run. He doesn't deserve a seat anymore.
Yeah.
But at the same time, are they getting much more out of Sargent than they were out of Latifi? At least you've got 3 years' experience down the line with Latifi.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult. Not only did he bin it in Q1 and made a couple of crashes, but he'd also binned it straight into the side of Valtteri Bottas, and that ended his race.
Let's just say I don't think he's his mechanic's biggest fan at the minute.
No,
he's in a lot of crap.
I did actually. I saw something over the weekend of the total bill for cost damages.
Oh, I haven't seen
across
that.
the season.
What's that?
And Logan Sergeant is up there. Williams are easily the most expensive team for the repair bills this season.
Oh no.
Yeah. And to be fair, you know what? Albon's got a pretty hefty bill.
Yeah.
But Logan Sergeant is just he just doesn't have to keep a car together, does he?
He just doesn't. And the unfortunate thing is, even though we, could be giving him a disservice, he could soon have that reputation. If he stays in F1 for another year, another 2 years, he is going to have the same reputation.
Yeah, unless he improves
As
drastically.
Latifi. Yeah, of course he is.
I think Sargent's very fortunate that the Williams car, relative to the rest of the cars, is a much better car now than what Latifi had to drive, especially in like 2021. So, to be honest, he's very fortunate, Logan Sergeant is, to be in the position that he's in. He could be at AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just a mess.
Take the last 3 races or so, and you know what, the AlphaTauri's been a lot better.
Yeah.
But you take the rest of the season, the AlphaTauri's been nowhere.
No.
Absolutely nowhere.
No. You've noticed more when it comes to AlphaTauri, it's more been about like it's not race results or qualifying positions or upgrades, anything like that. With AlphaTauri, it's just like who's going to drive from next year. That's all you've heard from AlphaTauri this season. You've heard nothing else.
They have done a contract extension with Tsunoda and Ricciardo, if I'm right in thinking. So that basically ends Liam Lawson's chances of being an AlphaTauri seat next season. If
there was a third car, I'd happily have him there.
You know what? I mean, you know me. I absolutely love Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
And I'm one to say that Yuki Tsunoda is a good enough driver to be in Formula 1.
I think he is.
You know, I know Helmut Marko has been saying, look, he needs to get a shift on, because if he doesn't, he's not going to find himself in F1 for much longer. However, I do think he deserves his place in F1.
He's just showed a bit more maturity this year, hasn't he? And I think that's earned his right.
And he's in what has been consistently the worst car this season. And he's picked up some points at least. He's picked up, 2 or 3 points?
Yeah.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, is quite good.
Yeah.
Really.
For what's underneath
him. He's had quite
him.
a few 11th places, 12th places, where he's just missed out.
Yeah.
So really and truly, he's not done that bad.
No.
Where do you see Liam Lawson fitting in F1 though next season? Because I think he deserves to be in F1.
He definitely does deserve to be in a place in F1 next season. Third driver role, he's got to have more than that. I think Williams is the only place for him.
Yeah.
And I do believe Williams probably is the best place for him.
Yeah.
You know, he can still keep a Red Bull sponsorship. Still be part of the young driver programme. Obviously, Helmut will keep one eye on him. But keep an eye on him. But I think he deserves to be given a shot in that seat.
He does,
but, like I said to you on Sunday morning whilst I was watching the race, I said that, you know, when it comes to like the cost cap now and everything like that, and Williams actually moving forward and actually having a bit of money behind them, you know, a bit of backing, Williams can actually afford a driver, you know, afford a driver with some experience, you know, like Alex Albon, for example. You know, could have had Daniel Ricciardo maybe. I mean, they probably wouldn't be able to afford him.
I'd hedge more bets on Albon.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think he's at the right end of his career to start off with.
Yeah.
I think we saw a figure over the weekend as well of his average qualifying position versus Perez's average qualifying position. No doubt, Perez's average has been brought down this season.
Yeah.
So many Q2 exits. However, Albon actually qualified on average on a higher position than Perez.
Yep.
Now, Albon's time at Red Bull was classed as disastrous.
Mm-hmm.
And he got sacked. Perez is considered to be fantastic and amazing. And yeah, okay, Perez has won a couple of races, but Perez is in a car that is consistently and by far the best car on the grid. Albon wasn't. Albon
Statistically,
was against the 2020 Mercedes.
Statistically, that car is going to be the greatest car in F1.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
I hate to say it, but it is. It's going to be, you know, that's facts. And if you're not getting, you know, a P2 in that car behind Max, or even a P1, just getting a podium at least.
Every week.
At least.
As long as you keep that car out of trouble, it shouldn't really be an issue.
No. I mean, you could probably put Alex Albon in that car. He'd easily get a top 5. Easy.
I think so.
Easy. You know, there's no excuse when you're driving that car. It doesn't matter what driver you are, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone. What do I say, anyone? Give or take most people. Maybe not Logan Sergeant, but most people would be getting a top 5 in that car. You know?
You would hope so.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe that does a bit of a discredit to Perez. You know, Perez, he has done a lot at Red Bull, but I do feel like his time at Red Bull,
it's coming to an end, I think.
It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
But who do you see jumping in that second seat? Do they keep him for an extra year? Do they put Lawson in? Do they promote Ricciardo? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Lawson going AlphaTauri.
Who else are they going to pick, Joel?
Exactly. Who else do they pick? That's the thing. Gasly, well, we'll go on to Gasly in a minute, but Gasly seems somewhat settled.
Yes.
At Alpine, let's just say.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. Got a little bit heated.
Yeah,
but for now,
that
everything's
brings us on to something
strong.
that actually I really want to talk about. Now, we're coming into what is somewhat of a competitive part of the season. We're coming into the business end.
I'm just going to start while he wants to talk about it, but he didn't want to make a bloody video about it, did he? He didn't. He didn't want to make a short video about it, but he really wants to talk about it.
I do want to talk about it, though.
He wants to talk about it.
I want to talk about... There's a few driver pairings now that are getting a little bit spicy, a little bit heated.
Can I reel them off?
Go on.
I'll reel them off. There's Gasly and Ocon.
Gasly and Ocon.
I do think Hamilton and Russell are going to start kicking off soon.
That is getting a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Nah.
Yeah. However, you are seeing stuff like Leclerc and Sainz who are being very competitive.
I do think
losing his rag a bit more, isn't he?
Yeah, I do think not necessarily Tsunoda and Lawson, but I do think Lawson's going to be a bit like, well, you haven't given me a seat.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you regret it. Like,
absolutely.
watch what I can do.
And Lawson's there to prove himself, ultimately. Yeah. Lawson's not there to make any friends.
Yeah.
Lawson's there to go, I deserve my seat in F1.
Yeah.
You know, put me in the worst car on the grid and I've got points for you.
Yeah.
So, sort me out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's saying, I deserve this.
Yeah, yeah.
You could also say Lando was getting a little bit ticked off with Oscar.
Yes.
This weekend.
I do think, you know, it was a fantastic race for McLaren. Obviously.
Yeah.
Second and third. And it's so good to see.
Yeah.
Amazing. However, I do think Lando's just that little bit faster.
Yeah, of course he is.
Piastri, amazing. Absolutely astonishing driver. And he's really come out of his shell and proved himself as a fantastic driver. Worthy of F1 and also a future champion, potentially. He's got it in him. He's got it in him.
Yeah.
You know, this is his rookie season.
He's got it in him to give up a fight, basically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. You give him the car and he'll put up a fight.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is promising. But Lando, he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
He's just brilliant at the moment.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's just faster. And it's that heat of the moment. Look, get me in front of him. I want to chase Verstappen. It was never going to happen.
No.
However...
But you want to give it a go, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to give it a go.
Yeah. And ultimately, if you're faster, you want to be put in front.
Yeah.
And if it's your teammate, you're like, save the hassle. Save knocking my front wing off. Just let me past.
Yeah. Lando reminds me a bit of a Max. I hate saying that. It reminds me of Max in a sense, you know, you stay with his team for, you know, a while before the car starts to become really competitive.
Yeah.
And as each year has gone on, I do think that Lando, in his early years compared to Max, was more mature than Max. Not getting into any scrapes, anything like that, just a solid driver. But
Max is faster. He's just...
Yeah, of course he is.
Max is just...
Of course he is.
Phenomenal.
But... Shut up. But... I do think Lando is doing the right thing. I think year by year, he's just...
Definitely.
Lando's not getting any worse. He's getting stronger and stronger each year.
Absolutely.
And so are McLaren as an organisation, as a team.
Yeah.
The car's getting better. I think Lando knows what the long game is in this.
Absolutely.
He knows that...
They've got the new wind tunnel coming.
Yeah. He knows McLaren will give him a championship-winning car. He's just biding his time.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Max did with Red Bull. And I do think Lando's going to do the same.
Yeah. Now, that will be interesting.
It will happen.
I pray.
You know,
I pray.
I'm not even... I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. What's the date? 29th of September 2023.
It's
You heard it here.
26th of September, by the way.
29th.
It's the 26th.
It's the 26th. He just clicked my head, yeah. It is the 26th. 26th. I'll take that again. 26th of September. Well, when it comes to the 29th, I'll
repeat it.
I'll repeat it again.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about driver pairings and drivers being faster and team orders, they let Ocon through to try and challenge Alonso. No? Take it back. They let Gasly through to try and challenge Alonso.
It's the 26th of September, by the way.
Yeah, 26th of September. Do you remember?
The 26th of September.
And it got to like the last lap, and they were literally pleading with him down the mic. They were like, Pierre, let Ocon back past.
Yeah.
We let you through to challenge Alonso. You didn't do it. Let him back past, please. Let him back past. And Yeah, it's annoying. It's upsetting somewhat, I suppose. But he was like absolutely raving.
He
wasn't
was fuming. I don't really agree what they said in the post-race interviews. I mean, Pierre says he doesn't really understand, which is kind of fair, but Ocon did let him pass originally.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like Esteban's attitude. It's right in what he's saying, but Esteban's attitude was at the end. You know, he said, "Look, I've been here for 4 years. This is basically my team. I'm number one driver," and I don't agree with that because I don't think he is.
I don't think either driver is significantly better than the other to warrant number one driver spot.
If I'd pick one, I'd pick Pierre.
Probably.
I would.
Yeah, probably.
Ocon's deserves a place in F1.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't think he's not number one in that team. I don't care how long he's been there.
Number one.
No.
I think you look at Sainz and Leclerc, and there's no number one in that team. It's just so evenly matched.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same at Alpine. That's Albon and Alpine. Alpine. I'm malfunctioning. But like
it's 26th of September.
Do you remember? And honest to God, it's just like he just went absolutely mad. He was throwing his arms out. He was sticking his fingers up at Ocon on the way past. It was like he just bashed him into the barrier and just went, "See you later, mate."
Yeah. Even though it's all over 1 point, I think with Pierre it was more than just that, one singular point.
It's his rival growing up. It's his teammate.
They've had a tough relationship growing up. They've had a close but very tough relationship growing up through the ranks through the years with each other.
Yeah,
so it's personal between them two, ever so slightly. They've got the respect there to not be, to not absolutely hate each other.
Yes. Now, I want to say in Alpine, it's never been plain sailing.
No.
Has it?
No.
It's always been quite a turbulent environment. Ricardo was there for 2 years, and he left. And then Cyril left. Alan Prost has left. Is it Rossi who's left now?
I've lost count.
God knows. And it's never been a plain sailing, smooth, calm environment.
No.
Now, are they holding on for dear life, do you think?
Yes.
Just onto that relationship?
Yes.
I think so. And we said it at the start of the season. They've never seen eye to eye. And now it's really seeming to come to fruition.
Yep.
It's really bubbling. Now, if he finished 11th and he had no points at all, I'd sort of understand if he was a bit miffed.
Yeah.
However, he's only got 1 point instead of 2. It's not a great deal of difference. I feel like there's something going on behind it.
Yeah, of course there is. Yeah, of course there is. There's more than that, and hopefully we might see Ian Drive survive. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully there was with Alpine this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course will. Yeah. So hopefully he does actually bring something out.
Yeah. Hopefully. And that brings us on to the second driver pairing, who have been a bit sarcastic with each other just lately. Russell and Hamilton. Yeah,
they were a bit like they were a bit too feisty this weekend. I think with each other, pushing each other too much. It woke me up because it started to scare me. I'll admit.
Yeah.
But pushing each other off the track, running each other wide. I was just calm down a little bit.
Is it mind games? Is it a bit trying to be I'm the alpha? I'm the boss around here.
From George's point of view, yes, I do believe that. From Lewis's point of view, no, I don't. Lewis doesn't need to prove anything in that team anyway. I don't think.
Absolutely, yeah.
But George just needs to just calm down a little bit. He just needs to take a step back.
I think he might be reading into a lot, and there's a lot of he pushed me off the track. He's got to let me back through. Is he going to play fair now? Are we going to be a team, or are we going to race nasty with each other? And it's like, look, you've got to be like Russell's grown up as a diplomat.
Yeah.
And he's always grown up being really careful with his words, and that's what's propelled him right to Mercedes. That's what put him on that platform in the first place, because he's not mouthy. He watches what he says, but he's starting to come out his shell a bit. And be a little bit abrasive, isn't he?
Yeah, and do you know what? I don't think many people are liking that, to be honest.
No, I
not
don't.
like he's going to care, but a lot of people are starting to dislike him because of this.
The thing is with Lewis Hamilton, people either absolutely despise him, or they love him.
Yeah.
And
It's either mega love or
for the people
pure
that love
hate.
him, they're like, well, hang on, like us, we like Russell, but we're like, oh, hang on, you're being a bit like.
But even when Lewis says something sometimes in the media, I'm a bit like, ooh,
yeah,
calm down, you know.
Think about the future, think about the long game.
Yeah. With George, I'm just like, just take a step back and just chill out
and
a little bit.
ultimately, you know what? If Mercedes can make a car, Russell will have his chance.
Oh, 1,000,000%, without a doubt.
It's not there at the moment, but Lewis ain't going to last forever.
No.
In the next, well, looking at Alonso, we'll say in the next 5 years, he's going to retire at some point. And then Russell's number one driver, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. That's his team then. That's it. It's done.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bide your time, mate.
But
he's not going
don't
to, though.
upset people.
Yeah.
Be competitive. Try and win, for God's sake. But, you know what?
Yeah.
Don't be too abrasive.
I do think, say, next year, when if Mercedes have a competitive car, or 2025, especially next year, I think 2025 it won't matter as much. George needs to sharpen up in this period. And if I get a competitive car next season, and Lewis is, he's right on it, Will George might have to just take a little step back and go, look, we need to help Lewis win this championship. And
get him to retire.
Yeah,
and then it's all
just
yours.
to get this championship out of the way. He might not stick around then. Just help him do that. We'll hopefully get the constructors under our belt as well, and hopefully, and then after that, it's all you.
Oh, absolutely.
You go for it.
So
Again, not saying hold back, but
Toto's like the helpless dad trying to get his two kids to get along at the moment.
Like you said, George is very diplomatic and wants to be like a team player.
Yeah.
But when it gets to that point, will he be a team player? I don't think he will.
He
only want to be a team player. No, of course you can't.
He's there to win
but
at the end of the day.
He will only be a team player when it benefits him, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
So
whether he senses that Hamilton's coming to the end of his career or what, obviously he sees more than anyone else, any other driver. So maybe he's sort of trying to accelerate that process a bit. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to push him out.
We do love you, George.
Yeah, we do.
We do like you, but
just
chill out.
And that brings us on to the inevitable. Max Verstappen absolutely bombed it round there. Won the race by 50 seconds, was it? Something
50
stupid?
years, something like that.
50 years, yeah. And
Felt like
it. He's put himself on the verge of a World Drivers' Championship again. He can win it at the sprint race in the next race.
That's going to be weird.
That'll be really weird, that will.
That'll be strange. Fully deserved.
Obviously, Perez on an absolute nightmare drive, crashing into folks left, right and centre. I do want to mention, actually, the fact, how can he spend 6 laps in the pits and then just come back out and serve his penalty? Now, that is something that I really don't like.
Yeah, if he wanted to come out and just use it as a bit of testing time, fair enough. I've got no problem with that. But just to come back out just to serve your penalty to go back in, that is absolute... Can I swear? No, actually, I'm not. I can't be bothered to bleep it. It's absolute BS. It's absolute BS.
I'm sorry, but if you get penalised, it's meant to punish you. You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, we're going to retire anyway, so it doesn't punish them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could argue that maybe the fact that they retired is enough punishment, but at the same time, it's well, if they'd have retired as it was, then they were talking about potential grid places for the next one, grid place penalties for the next race, and it's well, you either do it or you don't. They've done nothing wrong, Red Bull. Very, very
it's within
smart,
the walls.
very clever.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
They've not broken any rule.
But again, what absolute BS.
And you know what? Red Bull are absolute masters at that, finding loopholes and just running it right up to the line without actually breaking any rules.
But this won't happen again if I ever clamp down on something like this now.
I think that's I've had real reservations about that.
Yeah, they will clamp down about it, definitely, 1,000,000%.
And obviously, it takes him on to his teammate Max Verstappen.
Congratulations on Max for winning the constructors.
6 laps in the pits and still won the race.
Yeah. Congratulations, Max, on winning the constructors championship. Ready
at the end of the
drivers.
day, Max's points tally is more than any other constructor.
Yeah.
He's literally won the constructors championship single-handedly.
Do you know what? Just before I end this video, give him the constructors and or sod Red Bull. he deserves a constructors
Don't
as well.
give it to Red Bull. Give
No,
it to Max.
give it to
You know,
Max.
he's won it by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Just Max and Adrian Newey. I'll take Adrian Newey.
Yeah. Okay. There's worse people. There's worse people to pick, I suppose.
So, they've absolutely walked it this year, and fair play to them. They've been by far the best car on the grid, by far the best and most efficient, consistent performing team all season long. And they've still got about 6 races left, so they can still absolutely batter the competition for a bit longer.
When is it going to be over? When is this season going to be over?
So there we have it for the Japanese Grand Prix. Max has absolutely romped home again. McLaren look astonishing, which I absolutely love to see. Drama in the teams. You know, families are being split apart.
The French Civil War
The French Civil
has
War,
started.
yeah.
We've had the Spanish and the British. Now we've got the French.
And that's about it.
That brings us to it, doesn't it?
That brings us to the end.
Yep.
Right. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Draw a bit.